Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I know it's been a really long time since I've shared a video with you, but I'm hoping today is going to make up for it. I want to share an arm balance focus practice with you. And we're going to cover 3 arm balances: Titibhasana, Vashisthasana, and Ekapadagalavasana. So if those poses are unfamiliar to you, you are in the right place. If they are familiar to you, you're still in the right place. Welcome. So let's get started. Sit up tall, take your shoulders back, and close your eyes. Arm balances as a class of pose, they help to build courage and strength in the physical body, but also in the mental body. So these are qualities that are necessary on the journey towards the soul or towards the spirit. Bring your hands together in prayer pose, Anjali Mudra. You make a connection to your heart center as a way of symbolizing the direction that we are headed in this practice, but also on the yoga path in general and in life. Bow your head to your heart. Release your hands, lift your head, open your eyes, and let's get started. Come to standing at the front of your mat, Tadasana. And we're going to start with the feet hip distance apart, toes pointing forward. Stretch your arms forward, palms face down, and then we're going to hook the thumbs. So I call this butterfly hands. You will never find it in a yoga book or anything like that. If you Google it, I'm assuming you're not going to find any images of people with butterfly hands. Take the arms overhead, reach for the ceiling. Now, as we take the arms overhead, take a small bend in the elbows, and this gives us a little bit more range of motion in the shoulders and arms. Take the arms back slightly. Now, we don't have to lean back so much here. This is the first stretch. Ground through the legs. Keep the thumbs connected. Now stretch the arms long and straight. Take a full inhale into the heart. On the exhale, fold the hands in prayer pose, bow forward, and touch the ground. Uttanasana, forward fold. On the next inhale, lift and open your chest. Half stretch forward, Ardha Uttanasana, and fold in. Take your hands to your hips, take your shoulders back, rise to stand. Float the arms forward, palms face down, hook the thumbs. Same thing, butterfly hands. Take the arms overhead, bend the elbows, lean back, and then we're going to keep the elbows bent, take the arms a little bit further back, then stretch the arms long. I was laughing because I was just thinking somebody's going to send me an image of somebody with butterfly hands. Come back to center and touch the ground, Uttanasana, forward fold. Lift and open your chest, half stretch forward, Ardha Uttanasana, and step to plank pose. As soon as you step to plank pose, check to make sure that the hands are a little bit wider than the shoulders, fingers forward, feet hip distance apart, and toes pointing forward. Ground to your hands and feet, open to your heart. We're going to lower halfway down Chaturanga, untuck the feet, straighten the arms, upward facing dog. Okay. And if you need to come into Cobra here, you can do that, no problem. Reset the feet, push your hips back, downward facing dog. First dog pose, take a sweet bend in the knees, tilt the sitting bones towards the ceiling. Keeping the sitting bones tilted, press out through your arms, then stretch down through your heels. Step forward to meet your hands, Uttanasana, forward fold, feet hip distance. Lift and open your chest, half stretch forward, Ardha Uttanasana, and fold in. Take your hands to your hips, take your shoulders back, rise to stand. Float the arms forward, palms face down, hook the thumbs, take the arms up, bend the elbows slightly, then take the arms a little further back, keeping the thumbs connected, stretch the arms straight. Come back to center and touch the ground, Uttanasana, forward fold. Lift and open your chest, half stretch forward, and step to plank pose. So you step to plank pose, check out the hands and feet, just tune in, make sure that your intention is being manifested physically. Open through the heart, lower down halfway Chaturanga, untuck the feet, straighten the arms, upward facing dog. Reset your feet, push your hips back, downward facing dog. Dog pose again, little bend in the knees, tilt the sitting bones, press through the arms, keep the sitting bones tilted, then stretch the heels down. Step forward to meet your hands, Uttanasana, forward fold. Same breath, lift and open your chest, half stretch forward, and fold in. Take your hands to your hips, rise to stand, float the arms forward, hook the thumbs, take the arms up, lean back and stretch. Come back to center and touch the ground, Uttanasana. Lift and open your chest, half stretch forward. Step to plank pose. Check out the hands and feet. Open through the heart, lower down Chaturanga. Untuck the feet, straighten the arms. Upward dog, downward facing dog. This time, don't bend the knees, but try to get the same kind of tilting action in the pelvis as you press out through the arms, stretch down through the heels. Step forward to meet your hands. Same breath, lift and open the chest, half stretch forward. And fold in. Inhale to rise. Float the arms forward, hook the thumbs, take the arms up and back. Come back to center and touch the ground. Lift and open your chest, half stretch forward, and step to plank pose. Open through the heart, lower down Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Bring the feet together at the back of your mat. Bend the knees, look forward, and lightly hop or step to meet your hands, feet together. Lift and open your chest, and fold in. Inhale to rise, Uttanasana, hook the thumbs as they go up and back. Come back to center and touch the ground. Lift and open your chest, half stretch forward, step to plank pose. Strong arms and legs, Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Feet together, bend the knees, look and float. Uttanasana, ooh, that's light. Lift and open your chest, half stretch and fold. Inhale to rise. Hook the thumbs as they go up, lean back and stretch. Uttanasana, forward fold. Lift and open your chest, half stretch forward. Plank pose. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Feet together, bend the knees and float. Oh, that was good. Lift and open your chest, half stretch and fold in. If you need to, you can stop, rewind, check that out. That was fucking amazing. Inhale to rise. Uttanasana, hook the thumbs. In and stretch. Uttanasana, forward fold. Lift and open your chest, half stretch forward. Step to plank pose. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Last one. Feet together, bend the knees, hop it forward. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Lift and open your chest, half stretch forward, and fold in. Hands on the hips, rise to stand. Release your hands to Tadasana. You just take a moment, the body's starting to generate some heat, starting to move some energy around. And we want to start to harness this power. You want to start to harness this flow and start to direct it. On the next inhale, float the arms overhead. Bow forward and touch the ground, Uttanasana. As we fold in, take hold of the back of the legs, palms facing forward, fingers facing down. You can take a small bend in the knees. This lets the belly come in closer. Keep the belly close, then stretch down through the heels. This is going to press the legs back into the hands, and you're going to resist that action with the hands, even the arms. Lift and open the chest, half stretch forward. Ardha Uttanasana, and step to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, step the right foot forward. Come onto fingertips, open through the heart. On the next inhale, rise, bring your hands to your hips. We'll bring the hands on the hips just to get the front body open, but also to align shoulders and hips, okay? So as we bend into the front leg, just keep the front knee right over the front ankle. Float the arms overhead, butterfly hands. Take a small bend in the elbows, gives us range of motion. Take the arms back to open the heart. And then we're going to, as much as we stretch out through the arms, we're going to stretch back to the legs. You're going to feel that deep into the front left thigh, also the front of the hip as well on the left side. Bring your hands to prayer pose. We're going to take a soft twist, nice and easy. And I say soft as in it's not a collapsing twist, so you don't drop it down hard, but there's a sense of power to the twist, or holding it up, keeping it light. Use your hands, use your legs, open the heart. Good job. And step to plank pose. Stage 1 plank, hands flat. Stage le 2 plank, finger le tips. You guys didn't know I spoke French, did you? Good. Open the heart. You're going to lower halfway down chaturanga. Untuck the feet. Whoa. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Oh, that felt good. All right, second side. Step the left foot forward. Come on to fingertips. I like to check out. I've been doing this for many, many years, but I still check my feet. Just making sure that actions or intentions are being manifested through action. Rise, bring your hands to your hips. Hips square, shoulders over the hips. Butterfly hands, arms up. Okay, a little bend in the elbows, range of motion. Take the arms back. Now stretch. As much as you stretch to the hands, stretch to the legs, back leg specifically. Oh, that feels good. Bring your hands to prayer pose and take a twist. As soon as we come into the twist, again using power to generate lightness. Whoa, that feels good. Didn't realize how stiff I was. Good enough. Step to plank pose. Stage 1 plank, hands flat. Stage 2 plank, fingertips. I don't know. There could be a stage 3. I don't know what. Maybe 3 fingertips. Okay. No. We're not going to do it. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. I know there's somebody at home who attempted that. So I'll get a message probably soon. Photograph. 3 fingers. Or butterfly hands. All right. Step the right foot forward between your hands. Turn your back heel down and flat. Come onto fingertips. And just stretch through the heart. Okay. We're going to go into full Parsvakonasana. So we can keep the right hand on the outside of the right leg. Take your left hand to your hip. If this rotation is hard for you, you can bring the hand to the inside of the leg. No problema. That's Spanish. Take the arm towards the ceiling. Take the arm overhead, palm face down. And I'm using my right arm against the right leg for leverage to turn and open the chest. Rise to warrior 2. Upper body vertical, stretch the arms out. And just checking the front knee, making sure it's over the front ankle and it's not pulling in or out. Interlace the hands behind your back. Soften the shoulders back, open the heart. And we're going to bow forward, humble warrior. Bring the head to the inside of the right ankle. And we're using the back leg for support to bend deeper into the front leg. That's what allows the head to go down. The arms are stretching towards the ceiling. They're not necessarily going overhead towards the floor. Keep the front leg where it is. Rise, warrior 2. Oh. That's a pose I like to teach but not do. Step to plank pose. Yes, there are many poses like that. Open through the heart. Shoulders above the wrist. Ground through the legs. Now, even though your arms and legs have separation between them, harness the space so you hold the space. Good job. Downward facing dog. So I skipped the chaturanga on that one because we're going to be doing some arm balances, and I don't want to burn out your arms, okay? So if you feel cheated, you can just do the chaturanga, up dog, cobra, whatever you want in between. Go to the bathroom, smoke a cigarette, drink water or a beer, whatever you're into. Step the left foot forward, turn the back heel down to flat. Come onto fingertips and open the heart. We have a no judgment policy here. So whatever you're into. Left hand on fingertips, take your right hand to your hip, open the heart. Float the arm up and forward, palm face down. Use the legs. Use the left arm against the leg to create more rotation, more space, more opening. Yeah, it feels good. Rise, warrior two. You settle into the front leg. Keep the arms buoyant, keep them light. Interlace the hands behind your back. Soften the shoulders back, open the heart in, take a bow, head towards the floor. As you, again, bend into the front leg, a lot of the support is coming through the back foot. Ground strong. Ooh, nice, my head's down. Sorry, interrupted. Rise, warrior two. Stretch the arms out, that's a burner. Ooh. And step to plank pose. Cool. Strong arms and legs. You can stay in plank, push the dog pose, or we lower down, chaturanga. Untuck the feet, upward facing dog. Good, downward facing dog. Okay, now we're going to get into a little bit more of the hamstrings. So we're going to come into Trikonasana. Step the right foot forward. Turn your back heel down and flat. Line the front heel with the arch of the back foot. Take your right hand to the inside of the right leg. Take your left hand to your hip, and we're going to straighten the front leg. Now, when we straighten the front leg, the hand can glide towards you a little bit more, just so it's underneath your shoulder. Open the heart and stretch through both legs. Take the left arm straight up, Trikonasana, and we're still, whatever, if you can't touch the floor, you can bring your hand onto your ankle, it's no problem. But know that eventually you want the right hand on the floor. Take the left arm overhead, palm face down, just like Parshva, but we're just doing, this is a variation of the pose, by the way. It's not the traditional form, but it gives us a nice side body stretch, I like it. Take your left hand to your hip. We're going to step into Ardha Chandrasana. I'm just moving my foot back so I stay in frame. Float the left arm, left leg up. So now the key is the back leg. Okay, so if you need to bend your foot, need to touch the floor, you can. But the back leg stays strong, stays straight. Okay. Now imagine the whole pose is turning around that back leg. We're going to come into warrior three. Hands in prayer pose. Solid in the center. Oh, it's a little bit wobbly. Good. Nice. Left hand to the ground. Graceful twist. Right arm towards the sky. Pavrita. Ardha Chandrasana. Oh, that feels great. It's standing splits. As you fold in, take the left leg to the sky. We're going to take the right hand to the back of the leg, just like we did in that Uttanasana forward fold. Palm facing forward, fingers facing down. I like to grab my forearm back there. It gives us some power. And use that power to stretch that top leg. All right, good enough. Downward facing dog. Whew, that's some juice. Okay, second side. Step the left foot forward. Turn the back heel down to flat. Come out to fingertips. Take your left hand to the inside of the left leg. Take your right hand to your hip. And stretch the front leg straight. Good. And use your legs, use your power. Open the heart. And then stretch the right arm straight up. Both legs are stretching. You can stay here, no problem. Take the top arm forward, palm face down. Extend the triangle. Oh, that feels good. Take your right hand back to your hip. I'm just going to move my foot forward just a little bit. Float the right leg up, right arm up. Ardha Chandrasana. Back leg is strong and straight. I look at the floor. I like to look at the floor because it helps give me reference to the space I'm in. Good. And we're going to pivot the hips, warrior 3. Steady in the center. Heart as high as the hips. Back leg still strong. Back leg still straight. And then Pavrita, right hand down. Chest turns to the left. And then the left arm floats up. Now, for me, the gaze is still down. Okay? This helps. It's almost like as much as I'm pivoting around that back leg, I'm also pivoting around the place that I'm staring at. The drishti is my focus point. Good. Standing split. Left hand to the back of the left ankle or foot. Drive the right leg up, super strong. Yeah, feels great. Good. And downward facing dog. Whew. Great job. Thanks. No problem. I'm assuming you're doing a great job too. Unless you just kind of put these videos on while you're doing something else and just you like to watch a person sweat and work hard. Totally possible. I get it. Step forward to meet your hands, Uttanasana, forward fold. Feet together. Take hold of the back of your legs, palms facing forward, fingers facing down. Lift and open the chest, half stretch forward, and fold in. Take your hands to your hips, rise to stand. Tadasana. Yeah. How are you guys doing? Rocking and rolling? Okay. So we're going to take a wide stance, Prasarita Padottanasana. So this is a pose I rarely teach in classes. I don't remember why, but I'm sure I had a good reason at some point. I think it was just space or, interrupts the flow. We're just gonna, as we stretch out, this is kind of old school alignment. If you drop a line from your wrists, you want your feet underneath that line, okay? Toes pointing forward. Oh, as I look, see my foot was pointing out slightly. And we're gonna bow forward, fingertips to the floor. Now, we're going to go, Titibhasana is going to be the first arm balance that we cover. And that pose requires the legs to be open like this. So this is a nice forward fold hamstring opener. We're going to do a sweet variation. Bring the right hand to fingertips on the floor in front of the right foot. Then we're going to cross the left hand to the outside of the right shin. And we're going to put a little bit of pressure. So we're actually rooting the shin in as we draw our belly to the side. Now, as you root that shin in, keep the left hip moving back. Okay, this creates a little bit of space in the pelvis. Oh, that feels good. I said I don't teach this pose often, but I do it in my own practice quite a lot. Good, come back to center. Left hand on fingertips in front of the left foot. And the right hand to the outside of the left shin. Whoa, that one feels good. I'm putting quite a lot of pressure on the shin, but not so much that I'm losing my foundation on the feet, of the feet. Whoa, that feels awesome. I can feel like the microfibers of my hamstrings just kind of melting open. It feels amazing. Okay, come back to center. Awesome. Okay, have a seat. I'm going to show Titibhasana first. So there's a couple of stages, and one of the stages is just called Eka Padabhujasana or Bhujipadasana, and I will show that as well. So if you're unable to get the legs straight, that's totally an option, totally cool. I'm going to be facing forward this way, and actually I'm going to face you first, okay? And then we'll do it together, and I'll face on my mat, all right? So we take a slightly wider stance than Tadasana or Uttanasana. Bend the knees, and we're going to place the hands on the floor behind the feet. Now at this stage, the heels of the palms of the hands may still be lifted. It's not a problem. But as we start to sit back, right here, hands are flat, okay? So Ekapada Bhujasana, you're just bringing the feet, crossing them over like this. Bhujavidasana, same pose, okay? Titibhasana, from here, we're gonna just stretch the legs straight. Oh. Usually no graceful way to get out of that except for falling back. I have lots of photos like that, don't worry. Okay, so we're gonna do that together, okay? And I'll talk you through the whole thing. And this is one of those poses like I've shared with people in class recently. This is a pose I've been practicing for 25 years, and this is only a pose that I've realized I could do in the last year. Like I think last year, I was just shooting outside someplace doing a practice. I tried it, and it was like, holy shit, my legs are straight. But I never thought I was a person who could get my legs straight in that pose. And I'm hoping that they're straight in this video. But if they're not, don't worry, I'll just edit this pose out, go back to the beginning, and we'll be doing 2 arm balances, okay? So let's do it. Come to standing at the top of your mat. Feet hip distance apart, actually wider than hip distance. Bend the knees, and we're gonna start to place the hands on the floor. You can put some blocks, I've seen blocks, but I don't like to use blocks because if you fall, it's kind of high, okay? Start to shift the weight back. Once the feet get light, either cross them or start to work them straight. Good. All right. And you can take that to handstand. If you missed that, you'll want to rewind and check it out. It was pretty amazing. I wasn't sure I could do it, but I did it. So thank God for the rug, it moved. All right, so downward facing dog. And with these arm balances, if you want to give them a couple of tries, go for it. You just pause the video, no problem. Do it a couple of times and then hit play when you're ready to continue. Okay, Hanuman, step the right foot forward, place the left knee on the ground. Now we're going to straighten the front leg by moving the hips back. Okay. Then once the front leg is straight, we're not going to bend it. So we're going to go deeper into the pose by moving the back leg back. Okay. Okay. Now when I'm pretty much kind of as far back as I can go, I'm going to untuck the foot. But you saw me out, it happened very fast, but I moved my knee in to compensate for the back foot turning. Okay? So I just take a glance back. Yeah, my back foot is pointing straight back. Good foot. Stay there. Yeah, never mind. Nothing to say about that. Yeah, on your fingertips, open your heart. Keep the hips square. Yeah. And I'm using my hands to take some of the pressure off the front hamstring. Okay, I don't want all of the weight just dropping onto that leg. Muscles are toned, toes are spread to keep engagement. And I'm just going to let it kind of open with time. Something I like to do in this pose, because for me, this is a super intense pose. So to kind of make sure that I'm strong, but not kind of gripping or tightening too much, tightening up, I like to just pivot my hips left to right. And it's very small, like they're not huge. Yeah, see my body just kind of even relaxed a little bit. But when I say relaxed, it didn't disengage. It just kind of relaxed the intensity. That feels good. This was my nemesis pose for years and years and years. And in yoga classes, this is where I would always go and get water or go to the toilet, go outside and smoke a cigarette. It'd be awesome. Okay, downward facing dog. Oh, be sweet coming out of the pose. All right, second side. Left foot forward, right knee to the ground. And we're going to straighten the front leg and move the back leg back to go deeper. And then when we're right about the edge, untuck the back foot. And the back foot, we keep it tucked just to give orientation to the foot. But when it's untucked, you have the ability to move it back easier. So that feels really good. This is my tight side. I know looking at it, you would say, wow, that's amazing. I can't believe he has a tight side. But yes, this is my tight side. Yeah, this one actually took me a really long time to get this far. And again, let's do the little hip left to right thing. In Sanskrit, that's just called hip left to right thing. I think my coffee just kicked in. I had a coffee just before we started, and it just kind of hit me. Oh, just nice opening there. All right, bring it out sweetly. If you bring it out, you mess up your mat, don't worry about it. All right. Okay, come to your hands and your knees. Shake out your hands, just kind of give the wrists a break. Okay, so we're gonna do Vashisthasana now. And I'm gonna show the pose, and I'll show the full form of the pose, but as we go into the full form of the pose, stage one will be just keeping the knee bent. Okay, there's a few variations, and this pose builds up from very simple, not holding the foot at all, to keeping the foot on the floor, to lifting the leg. There's many, many variations. I have some other videos where I do variations of this pose, okay? But today we're working for the full form of the pose, and one of the stages will be just holding the foot and opening the leg, okay? If you can straighten the leg, go for it. If you cannot, no problem, all right? I'll show it first, and we'll rock it out together. From dog pose, come to plank pose. I shorten my stance just a little bit to be able to put a little bit more power into my legs, my feet, sorry. Turn to the outer edge of the left foot. Bring the right knee in, take Yogi Toe Lock. Stretch the right leg forward first, and then up. Good. And release. Okay. So I want to try something. After we do this, and when we're doing this pose together, oh, sorry, I didn't cover the stage one. I just went right for the full stage. Stage one, just bend your knee. You don't stretch the leg, okay? You're still holding the foot. That's a lot of balance already, okay? So what we're going to do is after we're in the full pose, even if you have your knee bent, you're just holding your Yogi Toe Lock, we're going to bring the foot forward for Hanuman, okay? That's going to be super, super slow. I'm going to talk you through it. When you put the foot down, it has to be a soft landing, okay? If you come back down too fast, you're going to go into Hanuman, and the gravity is going to pull you down, and you don't want to injure your leg, okay? So we're going to take it slow. We're going to do it the same side that I just did, because that's my best side. And then we'll go in towards Hanuman from there, okay? Let's do it. Downward facing dog. Bring the feet forward just a little bit. Turn to the outer edge of the left foot, balancing on the left hand. Bring the right knee in, take Yogi Toe Lock. Stage one, here. Stretch the leg forward and up for stage two. Full pose. Good. Look towards the front of your mat, and very, 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 very slowly lower down. Wow. It's one of the slowest I've done, I think. Oh, good. All right, bring it up, downward facing dog. All right, I'm going to turn around so that I can do both sides facing the camera. Okay, hopefully this side looks as good as the other side. Okay, let's do it. Turn to the outer edge of the right foot, bouncing on the right hand. Bend the left knee in, take Yogi Toe Lock. Stretch the left leg forward and up. Nice. Look forward. Slow, 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 slow. Hover and lower. Whoa. Yeah, I was losing it at the end there. Awesome. Okay, bring it out. Come to your knees. We're going to sit in Vajrasana. And again, if you want to try these sequences, try the pose more than once. I usually like to do the same pose 2 or 3 times in my practice, because each time I get a little bit more flexible. I start to zero in on balance, and it just gets more refined, okay? On arm balances in general, it's putting a little bit of pressure on the wrist, so we're gonna kind of get that out before we do the next arm balance. Hands out, fingers up, tuck your thumbs in. Then we're gonna close the hands around the fingers and make just nice, sweet circles. If you've been practicing with me for a while, you've probably done this, and I've probably gotten you to make sounds with your mouth like a motorboat or something. If that makes you happy, you should do that. Whatever makes you happy. Okay, go the other way. Shake out the hands, shake out the shoulders. Nice and sweet. Okay, downward facing dog, and we're gonna come into pigeon prep with the left shin forward. Pigeon prep, left shin forward. Okay, so the form of the leg like this in pigeon for the next arm balance, Ekapada Galavasana, it's gonna be the same form, okay? I'm gonna untuck my foot just to allow me to go a little bit deeper in the hips, okay? And I'm doing my best to, one, keep the hips square, but also to get my shin parallel with the front of the mat. You can stay on fingertips, no problem, or you can also come onto forearms. And when you come onto forearms, I'm actually bringing my elbows right up against the leg and then using the arms to pull the heart forward. Oh, that feels amazing. I'll kind of give you share a little secret with you. That's the first time I'm doing it like this. As I was explaining it, I was like, I wonder what that would feel like. Shh, don't tell anyone, okay? In class tomorrow night at the studio, I'll teach it like this, and it'll seem like I've been doing it for years. Because I'm a professional. Okay, all right, let's switch legs. Right shin forward, parallel. Good. Come onto fingertips first. And if you have any pain in the knee, try pulling the hip back to get that shearing energy out of the knee, okay? Stage 1 on fingertips. Stage 2, we're gonna come into a traditional forearm forward fold in this pose. And right here, yeah, I'm using, whoa, this side is a little bit tighter. Use the arms to bring the heart forward. Now this is, again, why I was thinking about this, I'll share that with you, is why I was thinking about this when I came into it, because this is the exact kind of form we're going to do in Ekapada Galavasana, including the foot, okay? The foot is kind of wrapping to the outside of my arm, and that energy is what helps me get into the pose when we do it. All right, bring it up. Nice and sweet. Have a seat for a second. So I'll also put up some pro tip videos for these arm balances as well and kind of break them down a little bit more. I'm moving through them quite fast because we're actually just moving through a class right now. So Ekapada Galavasana, I'll actually demonstrate it from this side, okay? So we're gonna come into it from kind of like Utkatasana, chair pose. The legs are just making a number 4. The leg was just like we just had it on the floor a second ago. Bend down and bring the hands to the floor. Hands are plank hands, okay? Now, you can see, watch what my foot does. My foot is actually, it's wrapping, locking to the outside of the arm, okay? Now, in order to be able to get this leg, right leg, off the floor, I have to lean forward a little bit, and then, oh, I felt it, it can go. It can lift now. This is gonna be stage 1, just playing with this lift. Stage 2, I'm gonna try to find that light point where my leg is light, and I'm gonna stretch my leg through that light point. Okay, bring it in and release, okay? So I talk about the light point. Now what I mean is, there's this place that when you're leaning forward, you're counterbalanced, essentially. And that counterbalance creates a light kind of plane that your leg can stretch through. If your leg is above that plane, you will go over. If the leg is below that plane, you will fall down, okay? So you want to kind of tune into it and kind of just like threading a needle, you're going to thread your leg through that light point, okay? All right, let's do it together. So we're going to do left leg on the right knee first. Cross the left leg over. Bring the hands to the floor. I'm getting in pretty deep. I get it almost to my armpits, okay? And then wrap the foot to the outside of the arm. I'm going to lean forward, looking for that light point. Whoa, there it is. Foot comes off the ground. And then I'm going to stretch the leg straight to the best of my ability within that light point. Good. And release. Oh, yeah. All right, shake it out. Okay. Other side. Let's do it. So come standing, Tadasana, bent knee Tadasana, I guess we can call it. Oh, right leg crosses over. Okay. Bring the hands to the floor. Yeah, whoa, this side's a little bit tighter. And if this is a lot for you, you can totally stay here. It's totally cool. Lean forward. And we're going to look for that light point. Where is it? There it is. Foot lifts up. And then the leg stretches straight. Wow, yeah. And release. Whoa, shake it out. Sit back on the heels. Move it around. Yeah. All right, let's do the same thing with the wrists. Hands forward, fingers up, curl the thumbs in, and just wrap your fingers. Okay. Now again, you want to try that a couple more times, no problem. Just pause the video, and then join us when you're ready to make some boat sounds. Okay. Go. Those are some of the first two, actually, Titibhasana and Vashisthasana. Again, I used to think I had really long legs compared to my arms, but I always struggled for many, many years with hamstring flexibility, and I just felt like those are not poses that I can do. And and I just kept doing them, just thinking that I could never straighten my legs, and then one day the legs started to get straight. So if that's you, just keep working on it, and eventually you'll be able to get it. You can use a strap or whatever, and start to help you out a little bit, okay? So downward facing dog, press it all the way back. Okay, come to a seated position. I'm gonna stretch the legs forward, start to ground. I'll stay like this, and I'm gonna open towards you. Okay, so you can sit on this side. Bend the left knee, we're gonna open the left knee to the left. Now, if the left knee comes down, you can move it a little bit further back, keeping the right leg straight forward, okay? So if the knee starts to pop up, you just bring it in a little bit, it's no problem. Then on fingertips, we're gonna turn the upper body forward, and then start to walk the hands forward. And as I go forward, I'm just making sure that my shoulders stay level to the floor. And then keeping the right hand on fingertips on the outside of the right leg, cross the left hand to the outside of the right foot. Now, because that left knee is so far back, you're gonna get a nice, super deep stretch on this outer left hip, okay? Fold in. Oh, yeah, it just melted there. I don't know if you can hear my breath or not, but I'm doing Ujjayi breath. And it's not a harsh, it's a I want to say strong sound, but it's not strong in terms of effortful. It's just loud because I'm using it as a meditation tool. Good. Inhale to your eyes. You know, you want to almost think about Ujjayi sound like just, you know, when you're talking and you can talk loud but not yelling. It's like that. You could also talk soft. And you can change the volume, but there's not a harshness quality that comes into it, okay? You want to keep the harshness out. Yeah. I'm going to switch legs, left leg forward. I'm just flipping around so that you can see my knees. See, I added to that in my mind. I said you could see my sexy knees. But I'm learning how to self-edit. It saves me at the end when I'm having to edit videos. Okay, so right knee opens. Turn the upper body forward. And then we're just going to walk it forward. Yeah, and this side, not so open here. So it feels like it's stuck in my back, low back someplace. So I just wait for it. And you know, what's interesting is I can feel the front of my hip gripping in order to try to allow me to go deeper. But I don't want to do that because that's going to bind the hip. Okay, square the shoulders. Oh, there it is. And then fold in. Now, you can keep the eyes open or closed. And then Ujjayi breath. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just feel my body opening big time, grounding. Good job. Inhale to rise. Great. Okay. Stretch the right leg forward. I'm going to stay facing this way. Cross the left knee over the right leg. Ardha Gomukha Paschimottanasana. Okay. Just want to make sure that that right leg is pointing straight up and down. Left knee is actually grounding on the right leg. If it's lifting, don't push it. Just kind of let time and gravity do the work for you. Walk your hands forward on fingertips. And this one, I'm going to stay on fingertips, okay? Because this is a bit of an asymmetric pose, so I'm going to keep my body level. And then fold in. Yeah, there it goes. Just melting a little bit. Awesome. Inhale to rise. Wow, felt good. So any of these poses, these kind of grounding poses, they're super restorative. So if you want to pause and kind of stay in this for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, you'll feel like butter afterwards. Or I was looking for a word. Butter's not the right word, but Jello? I don't know. All right, feathers came first, but I was like, why would you feel like feathers? Okay, on your fingertips, open through the heart, and fold forward. See, as I go forward, I can feel my outer left hip kind of cramping a little bit. So I just put my thumb right on that muscle, and I press the muscle to the bone. And this helps to relax the muscle. Oh, there it goes. Good. And then fold forward. Again, the Ujjayi breath. And close the eyes or keep them open. But really use it as a way of centering your attention, your awareness. Wow, feels good. Good job. See, I'm whispering like I'm talking to myself. Good job, man. Thank you. Inhale to rise. All right. Let's do one more symmetrical forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Widen the sit bones. You can keep the legs hip distance or feet together. I'm going to bring my feet together. But when you bring the feet together, you want to make sure that the bones of the legs are still pointing up, okay? Bow forward, and then we're going to take hold of the outsides of the feet. But I'm keeping my arms supported and lifted. Fold in. Nice. And rise. Okay. Take a cross-legged seated position. So I'm just sitting in Siddhasana. You can sit in Sukhasana, no problem. If your knees are higher than your hips, just sit up on something. And we're going to do a little breath work before we go into meditation, okay? So in today's breathing exercises, we're going to inhale for 5, hold for 10, exhale for 10. So it's in for 5, hold for 10, exhale for 10, okay? Again, you've probably heard me explain this in other videos, but when we are holding the breath, there's a pressure that is rising. That's why our face will turn red when we hold our breath. So we're going to keep that pressure down by lowering the chin, Jalandhara Bandha, okay? So when you do Jalandhara Bandha, there's a lifting of the chest, and the chin, there's the clavicle notch here. You're going to just work your chin towards there. If it doesn't get all the way to there, don't strain your neck trying to do it. You need some flexibility to do that as well. So that may take some time, okay? So I'm going to talk to you the whole thing. My chin will not be down because I'm going to be talking to you and instructing it. But I'll guide you through it. Palms face up, index finger and thumb touching. This is chin mudra or yana mudra. Soften the shoulders back, and we're going to lower the chin towards the chest. Okay. Jalandhara Bandha. We'll do one cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose, and release through the mouth. Close your lips. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 10. 4, 2, 1. Exhale for 10. 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, 2, 1. Hold for 10. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 10. 2, 1. On the inhale, lift your chin. Keep your eyes closed. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Last one. Inhale through your nose. Exhale from your mouth. Okay. We're just going to sit for a few minutes of meditation. The meditation is a kind of sitting back in yourself. What I mean by that is you settle into a space where you can just observe what's happening inside you. You can see that your mind thinks and it has thoughts. And you can just watch them without needing to participate in them. In between you watching and you thinking, there's space. And that space is freedom, it's liberation. And this is what we strive for, is to access this space that allows us to exist in a world but not be drowned by what we think or what's going on. Come onto your backs for Shavasana. If you need a little bit more time in meditation, just pause the video. As you come onto your back for Shavasana, allow your arms and legs to settle open. And within 1 or 2 breaths, just allow your body to come to rest. And when I say rest, I mean stillness. So that there is a part of you that is not fixing anymore, adjusting. You just allow yourself to be. And we talked about the space in that meditation. That very space is the nature of your whole being. It's inside of you, it's also around you. And when you settle into Shavasana, you're allowing yourself to settle back deeper into that space, to the point where it's not about you anymore, but you're settling into a universal space, a universal energy. This allows you to get free of yourself. Things that worry you, make you anxious, weigh you down. You allow yourself to get free of those for even just a few moments, and that's all your mind and heart needs to rejuvenate. A few moments of lightness, of peace. If you need a little bit more time in Shavasana, please stay. Otherwise, start to increase your breath. Move your fingers and your toes. Start to stretch your arms and your legs, gradually bringing your knees in towards your chest, giving your legs a nice, sweet, gentle hug. Turn your body to your side and use your hands to lift you to a seated position. As you come to a seated position, sit up tall, take your shoulders back. We're going to bring the left hand onto the lower chest, right hand onto the upper chest, and the hands are just overlapping each other in the heart center. We take a moment to appreciate this instrument, this body, this gift. What a blessing. As you breathe into your hands, with your fingertips, just kind of squeeze your body just a little bit with a little bit of acknowledgement, a little bit of love, some support, encouragement. Just inside yourself, just say, I'm doing a good job. I'm doing a good job. Because you are. Bring your hands together in prayer pose, Anjali Mudra. Bow your head to your heart so your mind acknowledges these messages that come from your spirit. Bring your hands to touch your forehead, to touch your lips, and then back to your heart. Namaste. Woohoo! Thank you so much for rocking out with me today. I am so, so grateful for you guys. I really appreciate it. And I hope you had a good time, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I will be putting some pro tip videos breaking down those 3 arm balances and some other videos, so you can go check them out. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate your support and all of your love and energy. I'm so grateful. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you. See you guys. Bye-bye.